And we're back. We're going on day 2 with this battery test. I'm still using the always on display, and we're doing raise to wake power test. And I just got this battery warning. Battery low, watch needs charging. Turn on power saving? Yes or no? Changes to home screen to grayscale. Turns off Wi-Fi and mobile networks. Turns off all functions except calls, messages, and notifications. If not connected to your phone, you'll only get notifications from your watch app that don't require data. You can still make emergency calls. Well, thanks, Samsung. I'm going to say no to that. And now we're down to 11%. So trying out a new watch face. Let's see, this one is called the AF Clean Digital. Once again, some of these watch face names are very interesting. Anyway, this one's pretty cool because of the always on display. As you can see right there, it's pretty minimalistic, and I wanted to make sure I made it through the night. And if we scroll over here, we can see how much longer Samsung thinks we have. 5 hours and 29 minutes. And when I woke up this morning, it said either 7.5 or 8.5. So been going on a long time. So let's check the app and see exactly how long it's lasted doing this test. So the main things we're testing here are, well, battery life, but we're testing how the battery life is affected by the always on display. And then in addition to always on display, we also have enabled the raise to wake. This should be a huge battery drain. Hello again. It's been a few hours, and if you just noticed, my watch just died. It was down to 1%, and I was trying to get the tripod set up and everything to go, and it looks like it is totally dead. But I checked all the stats, and this is the Samsung battery test number 100. It made it 2 days, 1 hour, and 11 minutes. And then it went down to 1%, and then just completely shut off. And let's see, the official time is 14:39. So I guess that's 2 days, 1 hour, and 13 minutes, or maybe 12 minutes. And I was testing quite a few things during this test scenario, if you will. And I'm going to go over each one and show you what I did to drain the battery, or maybe from your perspective, this is how I lengthen the battery juice. All right, let's get to the details. Okay, so the watch is dead, and yes, this is still the Samsung Active 2 LTE edition. So it has more memory, a little bigger battery than the smaller Active 2. This is the 44 millimeter edition. And I just made it 2 days. So what I was testing here, and you can see here on my notes, was one, the whole raise to wake enabled, and also a combination with AOD, always on display. And I was doing heart rate continuous, and I was doing do not disturb enabled from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Brightness level during the day was a 3. Watch face was blue pop and a couple of others. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to show you how to charge it. So pretty easy. I'm using a charging device by Hokanui, and it does have a fast port charge. But what I found out that this Samsung watch, the Samsung Active, the Samsung Active 2, the Samsung Active LTE, it doesn't really do a fast charge. So whether I plug it in through a regular laptop port or through a charger like this, it still seems to charge at the same rate. So now, push the button on the charger, and this should start charging. So when you're using an animated watch face, and it's going into always on display AOD mode, whenever you're waking that watch face up, yeah, it's going to use more battery life. Animated watches, the color screen, that all pulls into play, but yeah, you want to be able to use your watch. So we'll just set that aside and let that charge so I can go on a workout soon. I'm going to be doing a new video really soon called Don't Click, Just Ride, kind of a follow-up from my other one, Don't Click, Just Run, and showing you how the Samsung Active automatically detects your workouts. So back to our battery test 100. So I also had the watch face, the animated watch faces. I had the touchscreen disabled. And if you don't know what that means, basically when you have your watch on and you're wearing it, if you just touch the watch, that's going to turn it on. And I had that off. So you had to raise to wake the watch, and then it would open and then the touchscreen be on, or you'd have to touch a button. Otherwise, the touch to wake would not wake up the watch, and that saves a little bit of battery. Also vibration mode, normal, medium, and I followed a strict bedtime routine. Here, let me see if you can read those notes, and that way we don't have to do as much captioning as I normally do on these videos. So my bedtime routine is I put it into sleep mode, and it automatically goes into do not disturb mode from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. like I said, and that's automatically saving battery. And then what I also do is I put it into airplane mode at night. One, I value my sleep. I'll hear my phone ring, so I don't need my watch constantly talking and communicating to my phone during the night. Next right here, so this test started on on Tuesday at 1:30, and then Wednesday the battery drained 30%. So in the morning around 8:30 it fell to 70%, and by 12:30 went for a 25-minute walk, GPS, battery life down to 56%. So this is all yesterday. And then by the time I went to bed last night, down to 27%. So I definitely made it to the morning. So then the next morning, Thursday came about, and at 10 a.m. I got that alert, and it said, oh, going into power saving mode. I skipped that. Sleep tracking did work like a charm last night, even though I forgot to enable good night mode. So that continuous heart rate, right here, we'll zoom in there. Right there, item number 3, heart rate continuous. That has a huge effect on whether or not you detect naps. So that's just a really, really cool feature. Now we'll... Okay, adjusted the camera a little. So now we're into just minutes ago. At 12:20, battery was at 4%, and the life expectancy still said an hour and 51 minutes. So then over an hour later at 13:41, battery is still at 4%, and the battery life still thought it could go for another hour and 51 minutes. And then just minutes ago at 14:39, the battery was at 1%, so over an hour it fell between 4% and 1%, and it just shut itself off, and now it is still charging. So just like that, within a few minutes it's already at 5%. So if I were to take it off the charger, yeah, I could probably make it another 3 or 4 hours, but I'm not going to be able to use GPS. I don't recommend taking the battery down this low. I've had it go from 5% to just off within minutes, depending on what you want to do. And then also a huge negative of letting your battery go below, it's either 15 or 10%. Samsung Pay doesn't work. So while I was doing this battery test, I went out for lunch and I couldn't pay with my watch. I had to use a card. It was so embarrassing. It was the worst. Anyway, so when your watch gets really low, Samsung Pay does not work. So there you go. There's the battery test number 100, and it made it for 2 days, 1 hour and 11 minutes, from 100% down to 1%. And again, once it gets below that 5% mark, yeah, it really gets low. And you want to keep a charger nearby. And I have a portable charger thanks to Hokanui. And no, this video is not sponsored by anyone but me, PH Digital. So back to the stats there. There we go. Hopefully you can read those. Here, I'll zoom in even more. We might get some pixelation here. So there was the test, and I'll that's kind of crooked. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. So those were my qualifications that I wanted to test during the here we go. There we go. Hold on. So it was mainly 3 things. So 1, it was raised to wake enabled. 2, always on display. And then 3, heart rate continuous. Those three things were, those were a big battery drain. Well, that's all for now. Hold on a sec. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Again, this is another digital review by me, PH Digital. I hope you enjoyed a Samsung Battery Test 100. I'll be doing another one testing just always on display and turning off the raise to wake. Why? Because I'm a QA engineer during the day, and I'm fascinated on battery life lately, mostly for the past year or so. Yeah, battery life is just fascinating. I like seeing different things you can do to tweak the battery to get it to last longer, and just with like the smallest little change, all of a sudden your battery is draining 1% per 5 minutes. With cell phones, yeah, it's really complex. I don't know if I have time right now. Right now I'm focusing just on smartwatches. Maybe I'll need a break and I'll do some more battery testing on smartphones. But there's a lot of variables. I mean, that's a long test. But for now, we'll just do smartwatches. Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting my channel. Don't be shy. Share this with your friends. Give it a like. I'd appreciate that. And subscribe and click on the bell, and you'll be notified of future videos. That's all. Goodbye.